Imagine hearing about a car that never needs charging, never needs fuel, and seems to run on energy the world can't fully explain. A vehicle said to power itself endlessly without relying on the grid, the sun, or any traditional engine. Maxwell Chikumbutso's self-powered EV has sparked global curiosity, controversy, and excitement. And if you clicked on this video, you're probably wondering one simple thing. Can I actually buy one? Today, we're going deep into the claims, the technology, the prices, the reality behind the hype, and the truth about whether these vehicles are truly available for purchase or not. For years, the automotive world has been defined by two competing technologies: combustion engines fueled by petrol or diesel, and electric vehicles powered by rechargeable batteries. Both have their limitations. Combustion engines rely on fossil fuels. EVs depend on expensive battery packs and long charging times. But then came stories of Maxwell Chikumbutso from Zimbabwe, an inventor who claimed to have built something radically different, a self-powered electric vehicle that produces its own electricity as it runs. According to Maxwell, the vehicle uses a combination of embedded radio frequency systems, converters, and specialized energy modules that continuously generate power. No charging stations, no fuel pumps, no hybrid engine. Just a closed-loop power system. For many, this sounded like a breakthrough, perhaps even too big of a breakthrough. But this wasn't just another idea floating online. Maxwell showcased prototypes, drove them publicly, and demonstrated live tests for several audiences. Footage spread quickly across social media, making people wonder if this could be the next era of transportation, or simply another unverified claim. So naturally, the interest grew. If the car works, if the technology is real, if it truly provides free energy mobility, then the next question is obvious. How do you buy one? And if they are available, how much do these vehicles cost? Before answering that, we need to understand the journey behind this invention. Maxwell Chikumbutso's story is not the usual Silicon Valley founder narrative. He didn't emerge from a major university, a research lab, or a startup accelerator. Instead, he introduced himself as a self-taught engineer whose ideas came from curiosity, experimentation, and years of privately testing alternative energy systems. Early reports claim he created prototypes of a helicopter, a backpack generator, and a radio frequency-powered battery system long before mainstream attention ever found him. The heart of his EV invention is said to be a self-charging energy generator, which supposedly captures radio frequencies and converts them into electrical energy. This signal is then amplified, stabilized, and fed into the vehicle's electric motor. Critics say this violates known physics. Supporters argue that many breakthroughs look impossible until proven otherwise. Several videos show Maxwell driving the car, demonstrating its capabilities and showing data from the onboard systems. But videos alone don't satisfy the scientific community. Because the technology hasn't been independently verified by international engineering bodies, the controversy continues. And this leads directly into the biggest problem in answering the question everyone wants to know: is the car officially for sale? Before we jump to that answer, we need to examine why such a potentially world-changing invention hasn't exploded into global production. If a car truly never needs fuel or charging, it would disrupt entire industries: oil, electricity, automotive manufacturing, mining, and more. Powerful industries don't usually sit quietly when something threatens their foundations. And that's exactly where things get complicated. If Maxwell's vehicles really work, why can't you walk into a dealership today and buy one? The answer lies in a combination of technical, political, and economic factors. First, disruptive energy technology always faces intense scrutiny. Inventors worldwide, including those working on alternative energy breakthroughs, often encounter resistance from regulators, investors, and established industries. When something challenges trillion-dollar sectors, adoption doesn't happen overnight. Another factor is certification. For a vehicle to be sold publicly, it must pass rigorous tests: safety standards, emissions, crash tests, software compliance, and electromagnetic radiation controls. These tests require millions of dollars, specialized labs, and accredited engineering teams. Without these certifications, even a working prototype cannot be sold commercially. There's also the challenge of scaling. Building a prototype is one thing. Producing thousands of vehicles consistently is another. Manufacturing requires large factories, partnerships with suppliers, and standardized processes. Reports suggest that Maxwell had limited access to mass manufacturing infrastructure, which slowed any possible public rollout. Additionally, controversies around scientific validation created hesitation among investors. Some argue that the technology needs more transparent testing. Others believe that powerful interests may have suppressed its expansion. Regardless of which narrative is true, the result is the same. The vehicles remain in a prototype stage and are not yet part of any global automobile market. So does this mean you cannot buy the car at all? Not exactly. You'll understand why when we explore what's actually available today. This is the part viewers click for the clear yes or no. And the honest answer as of now is no official retail sales exist. There is no dealership, no e-commerce website, and no certified mass-produced model available for general purchase. Anyone claiming to sell a Maxwell self-powered car today is not offering an authenticated product. However, and this is where most people get confused, there were limited demonstrations, private presentations, and discussions with organizations interested in adopting or licensing the technology. In some cases, private entities explored partnerships for larger-scale development. That means the technology hasn't been abandoned. It simply isn't in the consumer market yet. It's important to understand that Maxwell's team has never announced a confirmed market price for the EVs. Estimates found online are speculation from fans, YouTubers, or bloggers. Without mass production, price cannot be determined accurately. So what can potential buyers do today? They can follow the progress of the technology, monitor official announcements, and track partnerships that Maxwell might form with international engineering companies. If any large automaker or manufacturing partner validates the technology and commits to production, only then will the question of how much does it cost have a real answer. But right now, as far as verified information goes, the vehicles are not available for purchase, yet the world is watching closely to see what happens next. Because no official pricing exists, analysts and enthusiasts have attempted to estimate what a self-powered EV might cost if released commercially. These estimations are not confirmed facts, but they help paint a picture. Traditional electric vehicles range anywhere from $30,000 to over $120,000 depending on brand and battery size. But if Maxwell's technology eliminates the need for large lithium battery packs, production costs could shift dramatically. Batteries are the most expensive component in modern EVs. If replaced by a smaller modular energy system, the price could potentially drop. Some speculative reports suggest a price between $20,000 and $40,000 for a basic model. Others believe that due to the novelty and limited production capacity, the first models could exceed $60,000, but without mass production, even these numbers are purely theoretical. There's also the question of government adoption. Countries exploring green energy solutions might subsidize or support production. If this happens, pricing could shift even more. Experts also point out that the value of a self-powered vehicle goes beyond the sticker price. The long-term savings, no fuel, no charging, minimal maintenance, could make it one of the cheapest vehicles to own over a lifetime, even if the upfront price is high. Many researchers believe that the biggest barrier is not cost, it's validation. If the tech becomes scientifically accepted and manufacturing partners join, then we could see actual pricing emerge. Until then, the speculation continues, fueled by curiosity, hope, and the possibility of world-changing innovation. Whether Maxwell's invention becomes a mainstream product or remains a controversial prototype depends on what happens next. The global energy landscape is shifting fast. Countries are racing to reduce emissions, transition to renewables, and find alternatives to fossil fuels. In a world desperate for cleaner mobility, the idea of a self-powered EV is more relevant than ever. If Maxwell collaborates with major engineering firms, shares technical documentation, and allows independent testing, the technology could gain validation. With validation comes investment. With investment comes manufacturing. And with manufacturing comes commercial availability. There are also signs that the world is slowly warming up to unconventional energy concepts. From wireless charging technologies to experimental zero-point energy research, the boundaries of what's possible are expanding. Innovations once considered impossible smartphones, drones, AI assistants are now everyday objects. Many believe that Maxwell's invention, even if in early stages, hints at a future where vehicles are not dependent on external energy sources. Whether his system is the one that succeeds or not, the idea alone has sparked global curiosity. It serves as a reminder. Breakthroughs often begin at the edge of skepticism. So the big question becomes, will this technology be validated, scaled, and made accessible? Only time, testing, and collaboration will tell. Until then, the mystery remains part of its global appeal. At the end of the day, the question, can I buy Maxwell Chikumbutso's self-powered EV? Reveals something bigger, a world hungry for new energy solutions. These cars aren't available yet, but the idea behind them has already captured imaginations everywhere. Whether the technology proves real on a global scale or evolves into something even more advanced, its impact is undeniable. It sparked debate, curiosity, and hope for a future beyond fuel and charging stations. Until official production begins, all we can do is watch, question, and stay ready for what comes next.